everybody loves a good PowerPoint, right?
You're really up there, guys.
I know, right? All right, so let's get started on to our Healthy Steps Nutrition 6-week challenge. You can follow along with me in your handbook. If you're a current nutrition client, it is the same handbook that you currently already have, so you don't have another copy. But if you are not a current nutrition client, you will be you'll be able to follow me in your nutrition handbook.
Okay, so this right here is what we're talking.
Yep, that's what we're looking at right there. All right. So our first slide that we're looking at today is our fitness pyramid. You'll see at the base of the pyramid is nutrition. Without nutrition, you'll never see your full results that you're looking for. I myself worked out for pretty heavily for about 5 years, and I just ate whatever I wanted to. I didn't change my eating habits. I just worked out. Yes, I did drop some weight, but after about 2 years, nothing else changed for me. I didn't get any more muscle tone. I didn't do anything else, and I finally decided I had enough one day and stepped up my nutrition, and I was able to drop about 19 pounds in 12 weeks and completely changed and upped my CrossFitting game quite a bit as well. So I only kicked myself in the butt that I didn't start that before, but I was one of those that just thought, if you worked out, you would be okay. You could do whatever you wanted to because I was working out so hard. That is not the case. If you don't have your nutrition down, you'll never see those full results. Not everybody in here is looking to lose weight. Some people that we'll have in our challenge are looking maybe to either maintain their weight or they're looking to gain weight. So the meal plans and your nutrition challenge is the same. However, your caloric intake is going to vary. So if we're looking to increase performance, dialing in that nutrition is going to help with that. If we're looking to improve your body aesthetics, maybe you're looking for more muscle tone, dialing in that nutrition is really going to help with that. And then everything else is going to go up and improve because you've got your nutrition locked down. So how our challenge is going to run and what we're going to be going over for the next few minutes is working on some ways to be able to make sure you have a successful challenge. You're also going to be setting some goals. We have a little goals board today that Kim's going to be working with you guys with on setting some goals for what you think may consider yourself to have a successful challenge. We're going to learn some of the basic fundamental units of nutrition. We're going to learn how to interpret your meal plan, how to know how many calories that you need to eat. And what you need to do once the challenge is over. What's your next steps from here? What are you going to do after that challenge is done? And then we'll also be going over how the winner is determined with our challenge. All right, so what should we be focusing on? When you kind of ask yourself, when we're looking through these questions, ask yourself, do you do this on a regular basis? If not, that's something that we need to work on. Maybe that would be some of your goals that we're going to be looking to achieve. It won't be the exact pamphlet, but you'll be following around as I'm talking. I promise that it'll come to it. But it's not the exact slide. Yeah. It's not the exact slide. It's just, but you'll get to where I'm getting here in just a second. Are you asking yourself, do you eat consistently throughout the day? Are you eating every 3 to 4 hours? Or are you somebody who only eats one meal a day? It's been shown to keep your energy levels up, to keep your blood sugars regulated. If you're eating every 3 hours or so, your body stays humming along at a really good pace. If you allow yourself to maybe eat a little coffee and a bagel for breakfast, but then you stay busy all day and you don't eat anything again until dinner, and then you find yourself in your pantry shoving in everything that you can think of, you've pretty well wind up eating way more calories than what you think because you're shoving that in. Also, your body's not firing all 4 cylinders because you've allowed yourself to plummet so low, then it's going to skyrocket back up and plummet back down again. So if we can get in consistent eating throughout the day, that's going to give you the best results. And we're going to try to work on you learning how to balance each meal with a protein source, a carbohydrate, and a little fat source as well. So that way your body's getting a little bit of everything all day long. Are you drinking enough water? Ask yourself, how much water do I drink in a day? A lot of people will find that maybe they don't drink hardly any. then maybe people will find they're drinking 4 gallons. That's great. So making sure we're going to aim for our challenge for at least 80 ounces of water. If you're working out, you need a little bit more than that. Obviously, it's been a little toasty in here for those of you who've been working out in the gym. You need to add in a little bit extra because you're sweating a good bit throughout the day while you're working out. And
That reminds me to drink water.
that's right. And some people will set a timer on their phone. Okay, so this is what I need to do to hit my drink my water. I'm gonna set a timer on my phone, and I'm gonna drink this much water from breakfast to my mid-morning snack.
It dings, it sounds like a custody.
There you go. And do you eat around your workouts? That is going to be a good little goal that you may have for yourself so that we can be sure that we're getting in a good protein source post-workout and a good carbohydrate, because that's when your body's ready to absorb up your protein and your carbohydrates. How often do you eat out? Do you find yourself eating out every single day? Or do you find yourself maybe you never eat out? So we're gonna look at that, how much you eat out. If you track your foods, it is definitely shown to be very successful if you track foods and you're logging in what you eat. Most people find they kind of graze through little things, and when they start actually logging their food, they wonder why they haven't been losing weight, but it turns out they've actually been eating way more than what they think. They just didn't realize it because they were, picking up a couple of potato chips here, maybe, walking through and, grabbing something out of the fridge and eating it, grabbing a couple chocolate chips and popping them in your mouth. And before you know it, you're at 2,500 calories, you didn't even know it. So tracking your food is very important, and we recommend and go with MyFitnessPal. It is very easy to use, and we'll go into some more details on that here in a sec. And do you focus more on the quality of foods or the quantity of foods? A donut is not the same thing as chicken breast, all right? No matter how you spin it, if your whole day lives off of eating nothing but donuts and pizza, it is not the same thing as eating as whole foods, chicken, brown rice, and maybe an avocado for a fat source. So the way your body processes that is completely different. So we're going to focus on eating quality foods and focus on how much of it that you need to eat. Yes.
Sorry, I know I keep interrupting.
No, you're fine.
I had my hysterectomy 6 years ago,
Uh-huh.
and it's caused me to go into insulin resistance.
Mm-hmm.
Will this help, get my sugar back on track?
It certainly can, because we're helping to work on keeping your blood sugars at a level, steady pace. Kara is a type 2 diabetic. She has had great success since she's dialed in her nutrition. She's off her insulin pump. I mean, she is doing great things since she's really dialed in her nutrition, and she exercises every day of the week too. So she's done great. So it certainly can help with your insulin.
Okay.
Great question. So our next one, so we're looking at putting all the pieces of the puzzle together. So when we're doing that, we're actually not looking for you to eat just off your meal plan. So you guys have a meal plan in your folder, but we don't want you to eat, okay, well, it says I need to eat an oatmeal for this one, I need to eat this meal for this and this meal for this, and stick to that for 6 weeks. We want to teach you how to pair up protein sources and carbohydrate sources and fats so that you can do that on your own. So that you're not having to stick to a meal plan, because if you only stuck to a meal plan for 6 weeks and then at time got finished and you didn't do anything, you didn't learn anything, that's not what we're looking for. But the meal plan is definitely there as a good guidance to kind of help get you started. All right. So next up, we're going to take a look at some goal settings. So in our goal settings, I want you to start thinking to yourself as we're going through these next couple slides is, what do you think is a goal that you have for yourself for this challenge? Why did you sign up for it? What brought you here? What is your idea of it being successful? I hope nobody puts down they're looking to drop 40 pounds in 6 weeks, because that's not an obtainable or realistic goal for yourself. But if you're looking to lose 1 to 2 pounds per week, great. If you're looking to gain 1 to 2 pounds per week, perfect. If you're looking to maintain your body weight, but we're looking to increase your performance, that is a great goal for yourself for this 6-week challenge. When we're doing our goals, we like to use the acronym SMART, which stands for specific, measurable, obtainable, realistic, and time sensitive. So when we're setting these little goals, I want you to think about using this acronym when we set those goals in there. So if Cheryl has a goal that she's decided, okay, I'm gonna set a goal to lose 5 pounds over 6 weeks. That's very specific because we've got a certain amount that she's looking to lose and the time frame she's looking to lose it in. It's absolutely an attainable goal because she is looking for, on average, 1 to 2 pounds per week is very realistic. So she's hitting her SMART goal for that goal. So that's a great goal to have, right? You'll have in your nutrition handbook, you have a spot to write down your goals. We're also going to be writing some goals down on our nutrition goal board, and Kim is going to be working with you guys here on that here in just 1 second.
Hi, everybody. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to kind of go over the goals. We're looking for short term. This is a 6-week goal that we're going to set, but also keep in mind 6 weeks will develop into longer time, so that you also need a long-term goal as well. So for your 6-week goal, 6-week challenge, you're going to be hitting nutrition hard. You're going to be trying to do all the exercise that you can, moving your body, eating properly. Let's think of a measurable, SMART goal for each of you. And then I want to have somebody be a volunteer and let's share the goal. So in your spot that you have on your little pamphlet, be thinking. I'm going to give you a couple minutes, and some of the things that people may have can be weight specific, 1 to 2 pounds per week. Some of them do not have to be scale victories at all. It's just being able to hydrate your body, being able to track your food every single day. That is a very hard task, so that's going to be a goal that you set for 6 weeks. I'm going to track every single day. Being able to exercise at least 3 to 4 times a week. That is a good goal. So just keep thinking of ways that you want to do this, and we're going to write them down, and I'm going to give you a couple minutes. I'm going to be throwing out some ideas. If you already know, go ahead and jot them down, and then I would like to have one volunteer to come up and just share their specific goal for this challenge. Okay?
Any of our current nutrition clients want to share one of their goals that they have? Jennifer Bird?
Yeah.
Come on.
I know you're looking at me.
You know it.
So one of my goals just for this 6 weeks challenge is to lose another inch in my waist.
That's good. I like
So
that.
I'm
Very
thankful
good.
one within the 6 weeks. And that's kind of the average about what I've been doing over that amount of time frame. So
Good. Very smart. For me, I'm going to share mine because I have been tracking, but I get off on the weekends, which is very normal. It's a very common thing for you. If you track Monday through Friday, sometimes you feel like letting loose on those weekends. You can't. 6 weeks, you got it in you. You can do it every single day. So for me, I'm going to track 7 days a week, and I'm going to complete my nutrition every single day by hitting that button, and y'all see that when you get to MyFitnessPal. And then I'm going to always be in my caloric intake exact like points. Because of the fact that I can get over, I'm not exactly wanting to lose weight, but I still have a target that I have to hit for my specific goals. So for that, I'm going to make sure that I'm eating properly, and I'm going to be tracking on the weekends, and I kind of don't take in that much water as I should, especially with me being a coach and working out as much. So I'm going to make sure that my hydration. So those would be my 3 goals that I want to have for the 6-week challenge. And by the way, all your coaches will be doing this challenge with you. So that's even better.
I'll piggyback on you for the tracking food too, because I kind of got off the tracking food for a little while, and it's amazing how easy it is to start picking up stuff. So
Yes,
tracking is really super important. And it's easy with MyFitnessPal.
it is.
Everybody's got their phone in their hand all the time.
Right.
But-
And when it comes to tracking, even if you get off, like you're not eating that nutritious, I still want you to track. You still need to do it because it makes you more aware, hyper aware of what's going into your body. So if you go out to eat because it's a Friday night and you want to be social and you want to have fun, I'm okay with that. You want to have a glass of wine, we'll get to alcohol later, but track it. Whatever you put into your body, track it. Okay? That way you'll just be hyper aware of exactly how much sugars, exactly how many proteins, exactly how many fats. It adds up very quickly. Okay, did anybody have some questions on the goals, or would you like to share it verbally? I like verbal. I like interaction. Okay, go ahead, Cheryl.
My first goal is to cut out all the sugar that I've been inhaling as possible. Stop drinking the 20 Cokes a day I drink, and start drinking water.
Okay.
That's my first goal.
Okay, so if you have, you take in a lot of Cokes. Okay.
Yeah. I drink most of my calories.
So the best thing for this is where you don't go into shopping. We want you to be successful, right? We want to
Right.
have smart goals.
Right.
So it might be cold turkey that some people can do that, like stop drinking all those things, but we might have to take it back a little bit and just minimize
Okay.
before we don't want your body to be like, hold up, you're
Uh-huh.
done, no more, give me that Coke.
Yeah,
We want you
yeah.
to kind of be like, okay, we're gonna gradually take you away. So that's really, I love that. That's great, Cheryl.
Okay, all right.
Anybody else, Sam, you want to share? Do you have like a weight specific, or like 1 to 2 pounds per week, or do you have like a food?
Well, I'm really pretty good at tracking my food, though.
Okay.
I don't track. I mean, I know in the back of my mind what I'm doing, but I don't track like I should. So I'm gonna track. And yes, I'm more going towards 1 or 2 pounds a week, but more inches instead of I don't worry about pounds.
Yeah.
You work out because you're
Every-
building muscles.
Yes.
The pounds are not gonna be there.
And you're
that's
gonna notice,
discouraging.
and
I
that's
wanna
why
see
everybody's different.
Yeah, I
I lose inches before I lose weight.
I do too.
And so, but we have people that lose weight and then they still have the same inches. So everybody's own body is a little different. So don't ever get discouraged if you're not seeing those scale results. That's why I'm saying non-scale victories. Things that don't relate to your body transforming, slimming down, or gaining. Okay? Non-scale victories are the things like being able to move around, being able to work out, being able to track properly, being able to, hey, being able to say no to something. That is a non-scale victory. Okay?
I got a couple pair of blue jeans on with this.
Yeah,
Hey, that's what I like it.
I still put them on, but I'm like, I
We wear them today. We wear them.
so I'm like, okay, we'll put those back.
I love that. That's good. Awesome job, guys. Are there any questions when it comes to your goals? Now remember, this is a very short-term goal, right? 6 weeks. But what we want is for you to continue to the long-term phase. 6 weeks is going to get you some results, absolutely. But it is that second phase that you see the real transformation.
After 6
keep-
weeks?
After 6 weeks. Like, I'm talking like 7 months in, 10 months in, years in. That's when you start seeing the real results seen. That's it. Okay?
This is not about instant gratification.
That's right.
Absolutely. It's
I
a
get
journey.
that.
It is a journey.
Right.
All right, team, are we good on the goals? Awesome.
All right, so let's kind of keep moving through. Now that we've kind of got our goals in, one thing about the goals is that sheet, have those goals someplace where you can see them. Keep them with you. Put them on your refrigerator. Keep them on your phone, on your wallpaper. Somewhere that you can see that when you get frustrated, you can look at those goals. Sam says, I got to wear these jeans in 2 weeks when it starts getting chilly. I'm going to say no to that chocolate. Exactly. Hang it up. Put a little board up there. So put them someplace where you can see them.
I bought some pants yesterday in a size smaller.
There you go. And then look at them every day. And that's going to be your motivation.
I'm not going to buy the ones that fit because I don't want to look like this. And so I bought them a size smaller, so they're hanging in my closet.
That's awesome. And so look at those jeans. All right. All right, so our next one up is we're going to start looking at some of the basics of nutrition. In the very basics of nutrition, there are 3 macronutrients: a protein, a fat, and a carb. Carbs are your body's basic energy source. For our nutrition, we actually focus on 40% of your diet should encompass carbohydrates, 30% protein, 30% fats.
Now, when you say carbs, though, you mean like good carbs, right?
Yeah, and there's all kind of different carbs that we're going to kind of go through here in a second. But yes, we're not looking for donuts as carbs because that's actually more of a fat than a carbohydrate. We're looking for healthy carbs. Fiber is a carbohydrate. It's going to help you stay full. Those are found in a lot of fruits and vegetables. A high fiber diet will also lead to yes, and that's going to make you need to drink more water. All right, so to keep yourself kind of regular, that's when the hydration comes into play as well. After exercise is the best time to have higher glycemic foods. Higher glycemic foods are going to be fruits, applesauce, apples, something that's quick and easily digestible. Berries, strawberries. It is, it's in there. And that'll be under the carbohydrates section in your pamphlet there.
Just couldn't write as fast as you.
So those are really good foods that you should have post-workout because they're really quick for the body to uptake those back in. We want to try to avoid excess sugar in the form of artificial sweeteners. The biggest thing that we see for people, and I'm sure Kim also sees them as her nutrition clients come in, is when we start talking to them and we're asking, okay, well, what's your regular diet look like? Well, I eat pretty good. I eat chicken, I eat my vegetables, I eat my rice. And then we kind of start looking at portions and they're like, ooh, okay, well, that's a little bit less than, what I thought I should be eating. And then we start looking at your added sweeteners that you may put in your coffee. People don't think about that. That dose of creamer in your coffee, that's a lot of additional sugars. That's a lot of additional calories that are going in there. So we like to recommend people try swapping their sweetener out for maybe some coconut milk or some almond milk. Something with a little bit of a fat-free, sugar-free source to it. Takes a little bit of getting used to. So just as Kim said about your sodas, we wouldn't go and tell somebody who's drinking 12 sodas a day to go cold turkey on them because you're going to last a few days and then you're going to binge on them. So try to look at cutting it down. Maybe they're in that first morning coffee. Okay, I'm not going to put all this extra stuff that I usually get at Starbucks. I'm going to go and try to keep it to a black coffee, or a coffee with coconut milk or almond milk, just to have that little bit of texture to it, right? There are a couple of different types of foods that react different into the body. There is a little thing that's called a glycemic index. A glycemic index will kind of tell us how fast blood sugar is gonna rise in your body after you're eating foods. So a high glycemic food, again, would be berries, apples, bananas. Those are something that are really quickly cause a spike in your blood sugar. A glycemic index will indicate how much of an insulin response your body's going to have to produce and break down the foods we just ate. Actually, a spike in your insulin is actually an inflammatory response. That's not a normal thing. So when you're eating foods that shoot the blood sugar up a little bit, it actually is a little bit of your body saying, ooh, I need something's going on, and we've boosted it up and I've reacted to it. That's also why we want to keep your blood sugars normal all day by eating every 2 to 3 hours. That keeps your body from yo-yoing and making it have an inflammatory response.
I actually have a book at home that lists every single food glycemic.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, because my adrenal glands almost stopped working.
Oh, okay.
So I had to go on a specific diet for
Right.
a while to get them back working again. So I had to watch my glycemia.
Well, definitely look for ones post-workout that are high, and the rest of the day we're looking for low glycemic indexes.
Like there's so many different numbers. Like what would you say was a good low?
So in your manual, if you'll look in there, you actually have some examples of high and low glycemic index carbohydrates in there. So lots of good examples of different ones that are high and low. For if you look in your Know Your Macros one, there is lots of good examples of high and low glycemic index carbohydrates in there. All right. Some sources of carbohydrates. Some of the ones that we like to see that are low in sugar are and high in fiber. So that's kind of what we're looking at. If you'll look at your meal tray, one of the little compartments there, the smaller ones, should be a source for your more starchy carbohydrates. Your larger one there, that's encompassing half of your meal tray, that should include non-starchy vegetables like broccoli, carrots, asparagus, green beans, cauliflower. A quarter of your plate is going to encompass some starchy or complex carbs, such as strawberries, apples, sweet potatoes, brown rice, quinoa. Those are all good examples of starchy carbohydrates. Moderate carbs, those are going to be ones that are going to be a little bit higher in the glycemic index. And those should be ones that we consume in moderation because they're going to kind of spike it up pretty quick. Those would be rice cakes, potatoes, Ezekiel bread, which is like a whole grain bread, bananas, grapes, melons. Those actually spike the blood sugar up a lot faster and plummet it back down a little bit quicker than, say, brown rice or a sweet potato would. Next up in our macronutrients is protein. Protein is needed in order to fuel the muscles. That is your body's only way of building muscle. And this should encompass 30% of our diet. We like to have lean meats as your top choice when you're looking for protein sources. Lean meats would be fish, skinless chicken breasts, turkey, egg whites. If you're a vegetarian, then a lot of people will rely on beans as their source of protein. That's okay if that's the meal that you're used to eating. However, do bear in mind that beans also are very high in carbohydrates as well, so you might want to pay attention to that. I don't think we have any vegetarians in here, do we? No? Perfect. Medium fats should be eaten in moderation. And those are going to be like cheeses, dark meat chicken, or red meat sirloin, full eggs, not just egg whites, really good eggs with yolks. Ones that are very high in fat and that you should kind of keep in limit would be full fat dairies. That would be like your full fat milk, full fat cheeses, most of your fatty red meats. A big fat ribeye is one you should consume in moderation, all right? Bacon, my nemesis. You should consume that in moderation. It's a high fatty food for the protein allotment that it has. I know, right? It smells deliciousness.
I'm gonna have to turn over everything because I've been cooking for my husband who's on the keto diet.
Yeah, and they're very, very high fats. It is. Keto, and my problem with keto diet, I have a couple of them. I won't go into a whole bunch on it, but there are not a whole lot of long-term studies as to what exactly being on that high of a fat of a diet is doing to your cardiovascular system. Your body's not meant to process super high fatty foods for a really long period of time. So that's my biggest issue with the keto diet.
Kind of like the gathering, hunting.
It kind of, but paleo is a gather and hunting, and they don't do carbohydrates and things like that at all, unless you're just like a beans and stuff. We're a well-rounded diet, so we're wanting to eat a little bit of everything. That way, yes, it's more of a lifestyle change. Yes, so you're not limiting yourself to just small combinations of foods. Amino acids are essential, and they have to be obtained from protein sources. Some good examples of amino acids, they're found in red meat, eggs, yogurts. I actually supplement with aminos by Driven, is how I supplement to make sure I'm getting my amino acids because they are not naturally occurring in the body and they are a necessity. They are necessary for muscle repair, for muscle growth. So I do supplement mine with my aminos. I do those 1 to 2 times per day.
I'm sorry, I know.
No, you're fine. Questions are good.
Repeat that like quickly.
So amino acids are not naturally occurring in the body. We have to get them from an outside source. They're found in meats. In order to be sure that you're getting enough, kind of like people take vitamins, because you're not getting enough vitamin D or enough vitamin E, they take a vitamin to help with that. So that's what I do. I take a supplement to make sure that I'm getting my adequate amount of amino acids. But aminos are found in meat sources. That is the only place that they're found on, without the addition of extra supplements. And those are needed for your body to be able to build muscle, repair muscle. They are essential.
But do you like do that with a powder or?
You do, yeah. So our aminos come in a powder form. They're super delicious. Our most popular one would be a watermelon flavor. I actually just was drinking that in my shaker there. 1 scoop of amino mixed with 8 to 10 ounces of water. I do it a couple times a day, and they're delicious. Kara's a big fan of it. She does it a couple times a day as well. They're really good, and they get you your full serving of aminos that you need for the day. And this sucker's got like 50 servings in it, so it lasts you a really long time. My favorite one is the watermelon. Is that yours, Kara, the watermelon?
I like the
Yeah, so she's a eliminator. So there you go. Mark does the watermelon, I think. Yeah. I'm a watermelon. My husband's a watermelon junkie, but we also have the lemonade because I like the tastes like Country Time lemonade is so good. So that's how I get my aminos to make sure that I'm getting adequate every day. Great questions. All right, next up, we're looking at a fat source. So fat kind of gets a bad rep because people think, oh, I shouldn't eat fat. You know, it's going to make me fat. That's not the case. Fat is needed in order to regulate your body hormones, especially females. We need that for hormonal regulation. If you don't have adequate fats coming in, even if you're not, if you're premenopausal, then you're not going to have a period anymore. So you got to make sure that your fats are being consumed each day. But that does not mean that it comes in the form of potato chips. All right, that's not the fats that we're looking for. I know, Rhonda's like, damn. We're looking for healthy fats. Healthy fats would be avocados, nuts, nut butters like peanut butter, almond butter, seeds, coconut oil, olive oil. Those are all examples of healthy fats. Ones that we should limit are going to be butter. If you're frying foods in vegetable oil, that should be kind of limited. Baked goods like your donuts and things like that, those are very unhealthy fats, so we want to limit those.
I don't even think that's fat. I think that's just sugar.
There's a lot of oil that the suckers get fried in. You also want to be sure that you're taking in enough omega-3s. Omega-3s are vital for brain function, and they are found in fish, olive oil. I also supplement that as well because we don't eat a lot of fish in our house. So I actually supplement with Omega Drive. It's easy to swallow pill. It has like a lemon drop in the inside of it so you don't get funky fish burps, because I have had those in the past and actually quit taking them because they were so funky. But now I've gone on these and they're delicious. I don't have any of that anymore.
What's the difference between omega-3 and omega-6, and which one are you supposed to like take?
Omega-3s is the ones that you want. Omega-6s are going to be more saturated fats.
What would something omega-6?
Oh, you would have to ask that. It's going to be more of your unhealthy fats. So those are found sometimes in your fattier meats. Omega-3s are going to be more of your healthy fats. Those are the ones that you want.
Crisco oil be omega-6?
No, because that's those are going to be found more in meat sources. All right. So our main goal of this challenge is to teach you how to eat by kind of reshaping your plate as a whole. We're going to start out with some hydration. Your choice of fluids can be your best thing or your worst thing. If you're drinking nothing but sweet tea and soda all day, that is going to be detrimental to weight loss. So if we can change that out and drink a little bit more water, you're going to see a lot better gains on that. It's also going to help with digestion and weight loss, as you need water in your bowels to help move them out. And it's going to help keep you fuller longer, which is a great thing. If you're not a huge water person, there's some ideas to work on getting in water. If you'll do like a little piece of fruit in your water, that helps because it's a little bit of a flavor. That's going to be a better option than drop it in like Mio drops or anything like that, because those are synthetic and they have some additional added preservatives to it. But you can do a fresh fruit, squeeze some lemon into your water, any kind of little fruit in there, orange in there, makes it have a little bit of flavor, so a little bit better to drink. I also find that some people do a little bit better if they drink a little bit of carbonated water with some fruit in there, because they're getting that carbonation that satisfies them and they're getting that fruity flavor too. We really want to try to stay away from sodas, too many juices. People think they're doing really good if they drink orange juice and apple juice. That's a lot of added sugars to them. You have to really pay attention to that. Some of those can have as much as 18 grams of sugar in one serving, and that's an 8-ounce serving, not our American servings when you're filling up a 16-ounce glass. So pay attention to that. That's where a lot of added calories come into. We want to focus on choosing lean meats. Lean meats, again, chicken, turkey, fish, those are your best sources for that. Different ways to cook them. You can do them all sorts of different ways. You can bake them, you can air fry them, you can saute them, put them in the Instapot, the crock pot. Lots of different ways to make things different by just changing how you cook it. Be wary of dairy products. They can add a lot of extra saturated fats and calories to your diet. I personally do 1 glass of milk every day because I do like the vitamin D and the calcium from milk, but we use 1% at our house, so we try to cut down on our fats, and I count that as my fat source for my meal. So just be wary if you're drinking full fat dairy, that can have 15 grams of fat in 1 8-ounce glass of milk, so be wary of that. As we're looking through that, each week that we're going through the challenge, you're going to have a specific week that focuses on different things. Your first week is working on focusing on whole foods and reshaping that plate. So when you're reshaping your plate and you're focusing on your foods, we want to load up on whole foods. That's whole grains, fruits, vegetables. They provide everything that your body needs can be found if you just eat it fresh. When you're going grocery shopping, the best way to do it is they tell you to shop the perimeter of the store, stay away from the aisles, because that's where all the processed foods are. If you can get it around the perimeter of your grocery store, you're going to be doing really good, because that's where most of all the fresh foods are found. Again, watch out for sugar. You'll get roped into things. I had somebody who came in, one of my nutrition clients the other day, said that she bought this thing because it was written as all natural and organic. That doesn't really mean a whole lot in America, unfortunately. You can be certified to be organic and still have the same junk that's going on at every other farm and garden around, except for you ever certified organic, because your cow has 2 times its space to move around in versus the cow next to it has 1 time of its space. So be wary of that. Just because it's listed as all natural doesn't mean it's any better than the one that's next to it. Again, shop the perimeter of the store, check your nutrition label. Chances are, if there's something written in there and you can't pronounce it, you probably don't need to be eating that food, all right? Because it's been modified with all kind of good stuff. That's right. Again, when we preach the plate method here, and you'll see that pop up many times throughout our challenge, as well as in our ongoing nutrition as well. Again, we're going to look at your plate, and in your 3-compartment containers, that large part of your container, we are looking for it to be filled with a non-starchy vegetable, broccoli, cauliflower, asparagus. A quarter of the plate is filled with a lean meat, chicken, turkey,